Hi everyone, Kim Adams here, and welcome to my office where the fan is going and the air conditioning is going because it is a stinking hot day here today. I think it's about 34 outside and the sun is burning down. So I'm happy to be locked in here today, whereas most days I prefer to be outside. Today I wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about why you may not be achieving your goals. Now, I know there's a lot of information out there on goal setting, a lot of personal development coaches, life coaches, people who are in the business of helping you achieve your dreams and desires talk about goal setting. I think for me, what I often see is a methodology that I don't necessarily agree with. And I think there's a different way to go about goal setting. Because for many of us, and I know for me, I've set goals in the past, lots and lots of goals, and I haven't achieved them, or I've I've let them go. I've become really frustrated, and I've felt like I've been a bit of a failure sometimes in not achieving those goals. I somehow lose the mojo along the way, or it just becomes all too hard. So it's a very common thing for us to set goals for ourselves and not achieve them. So you might be one of those people who are down one end of the spectrum or the continuum of goal setting behaviors. You're someone who has a vague idea of where you want to be going, or you have a general dream that you have, but you have nothing written down and you really don't think about it in a very strategic or clearly set out way. It's just an idea of where you want to go. And down the other end of the continuum, you might be one of those people who is very strategic and organized around goal setting. So you write down your goals, you write down when you want to achieve things, so you have dates for milestones, and you know exactly where it is you're wanting to go. And yet, whether you're down the vague, I have a dream end, or you're up the I'm extremely organized end, still goals can be really hard to achieve. And I think one of the reasons for this is that we treat goals like they are a project, or we treat our life goals, our personal goals, like they are a business project. So you might have learned about project management in your job, or a lot of the training around goal setting sort of sets it out like a project management style of doing business, where you get real clarity on your outcome, what it is you want to achieve. You get clarity around milestones, looking at setting due by dates, key performance indicators, if you like. And it's all set out in a very logical way, and that makes sense. But we still kind of lose our motivation somewhere along the way. And I think it's because it is set out so logical from the get-go. And don't get me wrong, I think logic and strategy has a strong place to play. But what if, rather than thinking about getting clear on outcomes first and on how you're going to do it, how about if we were to flip it around and take the time to get real clarity around what is important to you in terms of experiences in life, in terms of values and beliefs and desires, and then go about setting out our goals and our actions and our how-to in a way that is in alignment with what we desire and what values are important to us. And the reason this is important is because if we have internal values and beliefs that are different to how we are turning up in the world, how we are acting, how we are behaving, we have what's called cognitive dissonance. So this is when our internal beliefs don't align with how we are acting. That sort of makes our mind go, this is uncomfortable, this doesn't feel right. An example of this could be as if I was a smoker, for example. I'm not. But if I was a heavy smoker, I would be smoking all the time. And being educated, I understand what the research says. So I know that the facts are that smoking is not good for my health. It may cause lung cancer. It will probably cause a whole range of other chronic diseases. It will prematurely age my skin, and it will lead me to having a much shorter lifespan than if I was a non-smoker. Yet here I am still smoking. Those two things do not sit together neatly. So what happens is either I will stop the behaviour, I will stop smoking, and then I'll feel quite okay in my beliefs that I have around smoking is bad for me. Or if I don't stop the smoking, I will suppress my beliefs and values around health. So for example, I might start to say things like, well, my Aunt Sally lived until she was 97 and she smoked every day from when she was 14. It didn't kill her. Or we might cite some other research that's been published, or some story or doco that we saw about the oldest man alive who was still smoking when he was 128 or whatever. And we use that as an example to sort of make ourselves go, okay, these are my beliefs now. I don't believe that smoking will kill me. So we stop the action or we suppress our beliefs. Because we can sort of put up with a little bit of cognitive dissonance for a while, but after a while it gets quite uncomfortable and we need to do something. So in terms of goal setting, if we have goals for ourselves that have somehow been created by us thinking that, well, that should be the goal we have, or we do believe that we want that. So for example, having the house and the car and the mortgage, that is part of often what we think is success in life. And that often then means that you have the 9 to 5 or the 8 to 10, whatever job that you have in order to feed the goal and the mortgage that has been created from that. And if you hate your job, you're stuck because you have all this money that you owe and you can feel trapped. So what can happen then is it's too hard to stop the behavior. So we start to change our beliefs. You might truly value adventure and openness and freedom, but because you're trapped in that cycle and it doesn't fit, you start to suppress your desires and your dreams that you have for adventure. And it starts to be really underwhelming. No wonder we lose mojo around our goals and our daily behaviours if they're not really feeding what we truly want. So I would like you to have a think about what you value and what you believe to be true. What is important to you? Are you someone who values adventure, freedom, excitement? That's great. Are your goals in alignment with that? Are your daily activities that you're having to do to get to your goals feeding your sense of freedom and adventure? Are you someone who values stability and security and belonging and community and family? If so, maybe having the house and the job suits you and really does make you feel alive. So therefore, any goals you have around your career or your house or your family are exciting for you and you will put effort in. Because if you can't adjust your goals and you can't adjust your daily living, you will suppress what is truly important to you. And when your dreams, desires and feelings are in alignment with how you are acting and the actions you need to take every day and the commitment that you need in order to achieve the goals, when all that is in alignment, you will be more likely to take action. You will be more likely to get back up when you get knocked down. You'll be more likely to be able to say no to things that just weigh you down. And you'll be more likely to say hell yes to things that arise, that give you opportunity, even if they do scare you a little. And we all know that those things that scare us a little are usually the exciting things that lead to growth and change. So take time today to consider your values, your beliefs, the things that are really important to you. And if you are actually doing things in your life that are bringing those feelings into your life.